the Kings Summer League roster here. Okay, some of the notable names. You have Devin Carter, Nick Clifford, Isaiah Crawford, Isaac Jones, Mason Jones, Patrick McCaffrey. There's a funny note on Patrick McCaffrey as well.
I'm like, why is he important?
Well, he is the brother of Caitlin Clark's boyfriend.
Yes.
So we might see Caitlin Clark at something.
My guy, there ain't no way Caitlin Clark is showing up to her boyfriend's brother's summer league game.
If he starts cooking.
There's no way. Caitlin Clark is playing right now.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying in general.
What, is she going to show up to Stockton?
I'm just saying if he gets pulled up, you never know.
They're going to show up to Stockton, California for a Stockton Kings game next year. There's no chance.
Beautiful that time of next year.
By the way, that time in November, it is beautiful in Stockton, which, by the way, there's a funny story behind that. So when Caitlin Clark was at Iowa, the head coach of the men's basketball team was Fran McCaffrey. He was Keegan and Chris's coach also when they were at Iowa. So Caitlin was dating the son of the Iowa men's team's coach, who was also a player on that Iowa team. And then as soon as Caitlin went to the league, Dad got fired. Dad coaches at like Penn or something now. So they've all just gone their separate ways, but are somehow still connected by the fact that Caitlin Clark is dating former Iowa coach's son. But now they're all in like 5 different cities, but they all happen to be in Iowa at the same time.
So you got Patrick McCaffrey and you have Maxime Reynaud. And one more for you, Dylan Cardwell, the center from Auburn.
And what's his name? John Elmore, the guy who was cooking for the Stockton Kings. I love if you look at the ages of the players too on the list. It's like they're all 2002, and then Elmore's like 1994.
5.
Yeah.
1995, Mason Jones, 98.
The one old head, John Elmore, who I think it was like 7 or 8 years ago, he was cooking in the NCAA tournament for Marshall, but just the one old head pulling up to Summer League. the one 29-year-old.
But every team has one, though.
A 29-year-old at Summer League, that's kind of crazy.
Every team has one. Maybe not 29, but every team has one. It might be normally you have your Mason Jones, right? But that's pretty much it, 98.
Yeah, but Mason Jones also... Mason Jones is kind of like a tweener. Elmore has never played in the NBA. It's not like he was there and is now trying to get back. This dude has just never been in the league, but at 29 years old, he's still pulling up to Summer League trying to get a roster spot. And by the way, won a championship with the Stockton Kings last year. So I'm not dissing the career. It's just funny to see one 29-year-old with a bunch of 22-year-olds at Summer League.
So they will be out in Vegas, as will I. And, I mean, in terms of who has the most to gain or lose from Summer League, you know, it's funny. It feels like Devin Carter is both, but am I more so in the camp that he has more to lose? Whenever those expectations change, especially somewhere that, all right, you know, and we've heard people already talk about it. Okay, you know, you've been here for a year, you're an older rookie, and you've been put in trade talks as well. I think that Devin Carter is in a position where if he balls, let's say he just plays well, right? Everybody will say, well, he's an older rookie, or he's not a rookie anymore, but, you know, he's an older second-year guy. Let's see if he kind of balls out right here, and to what degree, or he doesn't ball out of control, and everybody says, second-year guy, man, Summer League, even though it's his only his second year in the league, he's a bit older. So I don't know, man. I think that we're getting to a point where it might be a little unrealistic because we've seen Devin Carter do stuff in the NBA.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much he can gain, because if he plays, my point is if he plays well, everyone's going to say he's supposed to be playing well.
I think this is one of the most unconventional situations going into Summer League because of two reasons. One is the age thing, like you mentioned. He is 23 years old and not a rookie. But the second part is the injury thing. Like, we didn't see him in Summer League last year. And while last year was his rookie season, he only played in, 38 games or something like that. So, in a weird way, this is his first off season, including his draft process, just because he didn't go through Summer League last year. He didn't go through training camp because of the shoulder surgery. So I guess you want to see him at Summer League at some point, because he's not such a consistent roster player that he would be meriting skipping Summer League. Like if Keegan Murray came back his second year, he wasn't doing, I think he did the California Classic, but I don't think he was going to do Vegas Summer League. But Devin Carter's also not so locked into his roster spot that he wouldn't potentially benefit from Summer League. To answer your question, though, I think he does have the most to gain and potentially lose, other than like the players who it's like, okay, this is their one shot at trying to make an NBA roster spot.
Right. If Nick Clifford or even Maxime Reynaud, if they have terrible Summer Leagues, it is what it is. It would be nice for them to not. And then obviously Nick Clifford, there's more pressure on him, I would say, than Maxime, even though Maxime, a lot of people saying, oh, he kind of slipped to the second round, but he's actually a first rounder. We've talked to people that have said that. I don't think, and again, the Kings have two adults in the room, and we sat down with them and we love them. I just don't know. Yeah, Mason Jones, you need somebody. Mason Jones is kind of there at this point to make sure he's almost as if he's a vet of Summer League, where it's okay. I'm going to help you guys learn the offense because and he probably knows that. I don't think I'm saying anything disrespectful.
No, wasn't he the MVP of the G League Finals or something?
So it's, hey, I'm going to help everybody because to that point too, this does look a lot different than a couple years ago. A lot has changed. The only names that have kind of survived now, it's obviously Devin Carter, but Isaiah Crawford, Isaac Jones, both of them have survived. And Isaac Jones is, he's got to play in it. Again, another guy that I don't know how much he has to gain from it at this point, besides just, okay, cool, you're still dominating. So if you look at Devin Carter, it should be a lot of Devin Carter. It should be a lot of Isaac Jones. And I don't even know how much Mason Jones is going to be because, again, I don't think he's to the point now where if Isaac Jones drops, maybe he drops 50 in every game, but if he averages 30 across the Summer League, I don't know that the Kings are feeling any differently about it.
Mason Jones at this point, you know how we talk about like, oh, there's only 450 roster spots in the NBA and everyone's trying to compete for one of those 450? Mason Jones is kind of like 451 right now, right? He was MVP of the G League Finals. He's been on two-way contracts with multiple teams now, but he's never gotten that fully guaranteed NBA contract from anyone. It's such a unique situation that Mason Jones finds himself in, right? Because I agree with your point. The players who already have roster spots, which are Devin Carter, Isaac Jones, Nick Clifford, and Maxime Reynaud, they don't have anything to lose because their roster spots are already guaranteed at this point. Mm-hmm. For a guy like Mason Jones, who's fighting for one of the two-way contracts, or Caitlin Clark's boyfriend's brother, right? Like they have more to gain because they're fighting for one of those two-way contract spots.
Yeah.
That for players who, the difference between John Elmore in the G League and Mason Jones is that two-way contract. For those guys fighting for the two-way contracts, it really does mean a lot because it is the difference between having an NBA future or being one of those guys that's just cycled around the G League.
Well, I'm just seeing here because I don't know where he's at, but the guy last year for the Warriors was Kevin Knox. He was cooking in Summer League.
Well, yeah, but he's a former lottery pick, right?
But I just looked here 2 days ago. This is Yahoo Sports. Knicks linked to reunion with former lottery bust Kevin Knox.
Oof. I don't know if this is still true, but as of like before last season, Kevin Knox had the title of worst winning percentage of any player active in the NBA because he went from like the Knicks when they were tanking to the Hawks when they were tanking to the Pistons when they really stunk. Like he just hit the trifecta of just awful teams. But
Yeah.
he's a G leaguer now, right? He was on the Warriors.
He was on the Warriors,
Yeah.
and
he was on the actual team. He was just a deep bench guy, right?
yeah, I don't know. He obviously didn't get any playing time during
garbage
the playoffs, but he was with them. So yeah, just some of the names. I'm just looking here, to do a comparison. Because what did we say? Was it 90? What was it for Elmore? He was 90.
He was 95. So he's what, 28 years old? And also, by the way, if you've ever seen him, looks like he's 42. He is 28, but looks like he's 42.
Yeah, for example, the Warriors, the oldest player they have a couple of 99s and they have a 98, but they do not have a 95. And now we have to search as we approach the 1 o'clock hour. Who has an older player?
Who is the oldest player in the summer league?
Yes, and because it could easily be Elmore. On the other side, we continue the conversation. Got some text to read through as well. People want to know enough with Kyle Kuzma. Why